I am still getting a pile of comments from people that think that the M4 is going to be replaced by this 6.8 Spear. And honestly, it's embarrassing. It truly is. Now, before I explain to you why the military decided not to do this, let me explain to you how I know for sure, beyond all reasonable doubt, that the M4 is absolutely not going to be replaced by this new doodad. To the whiteboard of knowledge. Alright, first off, we know that there are 1.4 million, with an M, active service members. We also know how many NGS, whatever the hell they call it, rifles the military is planning on buying. All the different models, all the different configurations add up to 120,916 units. Everybody knows 2 is 1 and 1 is none. But we're going to pretend that they're only planning on giving each soldier a rifle, and if something should happen to that rifle, they're screwed, they're SOL. There's no backups. So, pretending backups ain't a thing, when really that's only 60,000 troops that could carry that, because you'd want a backup for every single one. But pretending that's not a thing, that still leaves 1,276,084 troops without a rifle. The hell are they going to be using? Sharpened sticks? You can't replace the M4 without buying at least 2.8 million rifles. Your 120,000 rifles, that doesn't even scratch the surface. What that cartridge is probably going to do, and what that rifle is probably going to do, is replace the 7.62 by 51 NATO, because the center, if I can find one, with this size casing, you have a 243 on one side, you have the 308 on the other. Yeah, there's some other cartridges in there, but this is what I got on hand, so this is what we're using. This cartridge is, well, I hate to say it, it's obsolete. It really is. There's a lot better cartridges out there that do every job this does better. So, what you want to do is update this cartridge, because it is simply obsolete. It's a descendant of the 30-06, which was neutered on its conception, so they went to a 308 because the ballistics were basically identical. It just doesn't do anything very well. I mean, it's got its advantages, there ain't no doubt about that, but the advantages the military is looking for is past 300 yards, because inside of 300 yards, the M4 carbine just wipes the floor with any AR-10 platform you can bring to the table. Because of its small amount of recoil, its high capacity, its lightweight, you can't compete with that inside of 300 yards with an AR-10. It's just not doable. So, what are we looking at here? Why won't the military replace the M4 with this new 6.8 that's got all this crazy ballistics, and it's going to change the face of the battle and body armor will melt under the projectile? Because of versatility. Yeah, right now in Afghanistan we were seeing engagements that were longer than 300 yards. But that's the exception. That's not the rule. The rule is not you will always be past 300 yards. The rule is you don't know where the hell you're going to be. You could be inside of a building. You could be on an MRAB and decide that you have to fight. You could be in a desert, a jungle. You could be on a ship. There are so many different places where you can be in engagement. The odds of you landing on a place where you're going to be shooting past 300 yards, looking at all the different places you could possibly be, is a small percentage. Very small percentage. So we are looking for a firearm that provides the most versatility. So, is an AR-10 platform the most versatile firearm that will do good in any engagement, in any sort of environment, at any sort of range? Absolutely not. If I'm not shooting past 300 yards, this is at a severe disadvantage. Okay, so what do we got next? Well, we got something like the AK-47. Is this the most versatile rifle that is good in any environment, at any range? Absolutely not. Even out to 300 yards, this rifle sucks. Pushing it out to something farther, like a medium range, like 600, that's just a joke. They literally make memes about that. Okay, so what's the next rifle? Well, we got your M16 variant. 20-inch barrel, great ballistics, really excels at 300 yards, but you start bringing those targets in, like inside of buildings and stuff, and this has a huge disadvantage because the barrel's so long and the rifle has just an overall very long footprint. Yeah, you could bring it up like this and go around corners and stuff like that, but honestly, this rifle doesn't work very well unless you're out there, like in the 300-yard territory, 200-yard territory. You bring it into like a house or inside of a vehicle, things are going to get pretty dicey. Okay, so let's move on. Well, you got your M4 variant. 14.5-inch barrel. They're full auto, very high cyclet rate. Well, it'll do great inside of a building, inside of a car. And it's got the ballistics. If you want to shoot 300 yards, you can. Yeah, there's plenty of better cartridges out there, but this can do it. You can even push it farther than that. This is the most versatile rifle. This has the widest net. Because remember, it's a sliding scale. Back to the whiteboard of knowledge. Now this isn't perfect, but I just put this on here to give you guys an idea. So think of this as a sliding scale. You got short range, long range, mobility, and power. The ideal military rifle, because they don't have a clue where they may be going, is to land right dead center in this little scale. Yeah, the M4 ain't perfect. It's a little bit closer to mobility and short range than it is in the dead center, but it's close enough. The 6.8 Spear, no, that's way the hell down here. It's got heavy recoil. It's a heavy rifle. It's not very mobile. What it is good at is delivering power in long range to the battlefield. That is not acceptable because it makes all this stuff very hard to do. Yeah, a rifle in the dead center is not going to do any one of these jobs very well. However, it can do all of the jobs. And that's the key, because remember, flexibility wins battles. The most flexible army will be the victor. Flexibility is everything when it comes to fighting. Whether that's with your fists, a rifle, it doesn't matter. Whoever is not flexible enough is going to lose. Yes, this rifle sucks balls, especially past 300 yards, but it still can do it. Yes, this rifle sucks balls trying to clear a house, but it still can do it. Yes, this rifle doesn't bring a whole lot of ballistic energy to the table, but you know what? It's a very light recoil rifle that a soldier can pick up regardless of stature, regardless of experience, and run it decent. You throw them on like a 308 or some sort of AR-10 or high-powered rifle, that recoil knocks you around a lot, and those rifles are very hard to run. This rifle is the easiest to learn, that is the most flexible for any job. This particular one isn't because I have a red dot on it, but ultimately it'll get an ACOG, which will bring the flexibility up even more. But that's not the point. So out of all the rifles they could pick, they are not going to go with a full-length .51 cartridge of any flavor as a main battle rifle. It has way too many disadvantages. However, the 6.8 by 51, I definitely foresee replacing the 7.62 by 51 just because it's a superior cartridge in like every way, shape, and form. Nothing to go against the 308. I love the 308. But shut your ego down for a second and just admit, it is an obsolete cartridge. There are cartridges out there that run circles around the 308 when you're talking about past 300 yards out of an automatic rifle. Like, when I say out of, I mean like not in an automatic rifle. But yeah, you could even throw like a 243 and an M60 and it's going to outperform the 308 because there's less recoil. You can keep it on target easier. Now you get out past a longer range, then well, that's not going to happen so much. And that's the whole idea, is they're running a lighter projectile to try to bring the kinetic energy down, to try to make it have less recoil so it's easier for your standard soldier to run a full-length cartridge than it is right now. Better performance, lighter recoil, etc., 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 etc. So again, just to clarify, your little 6.8 Dream Kid is not going to replace the M4. You don't even have to listen to me. You can just simply look at the numbers and know they have no intentions of replacing the M4 with that. And anybody that would think differently, they have some sort of learning disability we're not aware of. So, if you like to help support the channel, I got my Patreon right there. I also have affiliate links in the description down below. Just by clicking on those links, even if you don't purchase what that particular link is for, just clicking on that and then doing the Amazon shopping you were already going to do anyway, I get a little kickback for it because you came there off my channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.